It's 9 o'clock, and I am in the mood to be terrified. Heck yeah! Let's go! All right. Give me a minute. Good Lord. Why, if you weren't my father, I'd slap the beard off you if you hadn't have shaved it off. Tragedy. I have to play tonight without my brother in the audience. The P is on his hands. A couple of quick messages on how to get the best possible experience. Amnesia should not be played to win. Good! I had no intention of doing that. Instead, focus on immersing yourself in the game's world and story. Ooh, that's true. We will clip anything. Are there double question marks about Jesse not being here? He's at a wedding today, so. Do not worry about when and how to save during gameplay. The game will take care of that for you. When you want to leave the game, just choose save and exit. You can then choose continue to return where you left off the next time you start up the game. Yes, Dad, it's his wedding. He just decided not to tell you about it. I had an invite, naturally, but it was on a spooky, scary Saturday. What am I gonna do? Anyway, this game screen looks like a colon. It looks like I am looking into a butthole. You've seen it. You can't unsee it. The world of Amnesia is a dangerous place. You're telling me, and you are extremely vulnerable. Do not try to fight the enemies encountered. Instead, use your wits. Hide or even run if necessary. Now that is where I'm a Viking. The interplay between light and dark is very sensual to the game, and because of this, it is vital to set up the gamma correctly. Use the slider control below to do so. Adjust it until the square at the right is barely visible. It is. Also make sure to play in a dark room and wear headphones for the best effect. I am going to wear headphones for the best effect. Amnesia colonoscopy. That's the scary thing. And one day that's gonna be a reality. For this guy. And indeed, most. I am not, however, we played this game with a guide. Oh, good. Good. Then I feel like I have a great shot here. I'm certainly not going to cry. Let's do this. That is all. Hope you enjoy immersing yourself in the world of Amnesia. Frictional games. I can think of a frictional game too. He said, yeah. I'll be fine. I'm gonna be fine. I'm gonna be great. Woo. Getting a little loud. Maybe I will just. Oh yeah, let's put it to 0. There you go. It's like when I used to play Resident Evil and had to play yakety sax over it so I didn't get terrified. Did not work. All right, here we go. That seems about on par with me. Yeah, it seems around there. I mean, you can play a game without friction, but you're probably not gonna finish. Start new game. Hard mode. You games are a delight. Let's do. Yes, fucking do it. Okay. Now, is this a controller or is this a keyboard? Does it matter? I'm gonna die anyway.
Don't forget, some things mustn't be forgotten. The shadow hunting me. I must hurry. My name is Daniel.
See?
I live in London at Mayfair. What have I done? This is crazy. Don't forget. Don't forget. I must stop him. Focus. name is... I am Daniel.
I am Luscious Cuddle Buns. I hope there isn't too much voice acting in this, because bad voice acting pulls me out. There should be a Coco mode to every game that is just kittens and puppies. That would just be fair. Oh my god. What have you done? I can use it. Ah, I'm gonna use a controller. Like a heathen. It's gonna be fine. It'll be fine. Mementos. The fresh maker. I am hilarious! Alright, let's go. Oh, good. It's good to know that I'm just booking it. Is there... Oh, that's that. That's crouching. That's jumping. And... That for some reason just makes me suddenly look up. No. Oh. That a little faster. Hold on. Normal. Ah. There's a brisk jaunt. Joke. Harder, Daddy. Oh, that. Oh, grabbing an object. Oh. Whee! Oh. This is excitement! Ooh. Close the bloody door! You wanna heat the damn neighborhood? Oh, God. A beer. I'm so glad. Oh, tinderbox. Oh, good. My commemorative thong. Hold down left, ma. Yeah, there you go. Ooh. Get the WD-40 or any other lube you might have on hand. Let's take some more tinderbox. Oh, and a broom. Someone left blood all over this floor. All right, let's see what we got. At least I can move. Nice. Oh! I hear movement. Quick, arm yourself. Oh, man. Say what you want, but I've gotten head twice in this game. I'm not doing this. Oh, so there's a bleeding hole in the wall where the souls of the damned are coming out. Boo-hoo. Also, it's not a hole, it's a bird. There was a hole here. It's gone now. Any chance of getting a new Silent Hill? No, we're not. Creek? Billy? Is that you? Oh. He died somehow. Torso takes silver. Tinderbox. Wonder where I find the grinder box. Am I right? What do we got here? Ooh. They're looking at me. Okay, let's go. Let's go very slowly. Ooh. Where? Oh, okay. tinderbox or other source of light. I see. I should figure out. Do I guess like do I go up to a sanity drain. If only I could restore my sanity by lighting candles. Maybe I could. I haven't tested it. Oh, it is so dark in here though. Is there like a place to light a candle? Hey, there is. Haha! Take that, insanity! I went to Bed Bath & Beyond. Wow. That guy's jacked. Nice. Alright. And... Hey, I don't want a fucking problem here. Well, you got a fucking problem here. Oh. Or laudanum. Sweet, sweet laudanum. Seen me through some good times. Alright, I'm gonna follow this trail of Pepto-Bismol. The old archives. Sexy. He fell to the kitchen floor. Tears were beginning to well in his eyes as he received his first kick to the stomach. Then the dialogue disappeared and he couldn't finish the narration. This is the life of Codric von Paulsberg. Oh, this one's got a title. Hansenreich. Alright. That must be where I... Ooh! Witnessing Hansenreich can be increased by completing puzzles and making progress. Okay. I don't know where a puzzle is. Hey! I got a lantern! If it was a green lantern, we'd be doing something here. Oh, wait, does this... Oh, when filled with oil. Oh, shit. Then I probably... Oh, yeah, I guess I need to... Is it light enough in here? Come warm yourself by the roaring candle. Well, hey, isn't this bright enough? Come on. Put the candle back. Oops. Now I want you to listen to me very carefully. I want you to put the candle back. God, I fucking love Young Frankenstein. Ah, stop pushing the wrong button. Why is the action button the trigger? Who does that?
19th of August, 1839. I wish I could ask how much you remember. I don't know if there'll be anything left after I consume this drink.
Certainly not.
Don't be afraid, Daniel. I can't tell you why, but know this. I choose to forget. Try to find comfort and strength in that fact. There is a purpose. You are my final effort to put things right. God willing, the name Alexander of Brandenburg still invokes bitter anger in you. If not, this will sound horrible. Go to the inner sanctum, find Alexander, and kill him. His body is old and weak, and yours, young and strong. He will be no match for you. One last thing. A shadow is following you. It's a living nightmare, breaking down reality. I have tried everything, and there is no way to fight back. You need to escape it as long as you can. Redeem us both, Daniel. Descend into the darkness where Alexander waits and murder him. Your former self, Daniel.
Liam Neeson. 'Cause that would have been more fun. Also, perform a roundhouse kick on a nun. It would be hilarious. The worst food a movie theater can sell? Lobster Thermidor! I mean, it's good, but not for a movie theater. Woo, what does this do? Oh, I need that. Why would you subject people in a small room to seafood? My friend Dave. You know Dave! Everybody knows Dave! He brought a charcuterie platter into a theater once, and one of the cheeses was Stinking Bishop. Now there's a way to clear out a movie theater.
Alexander, is it inside the castle?
In a manner of speaking. Come, bring the lamp. You've been to the refinery, have you not?
I don't believe I have. Is it connected to the... what did you call it?
The anus.
The inner sanctum.
Oh, same thing.
My most precious chamber, Daniel. And it lies well beyond the refinery.
Oh, fried
In fact,
pickles?
It lies beneath
Fried
the very
pickles
stone of Brennenburg.
Here's how much I like fried pickles. I will even eat fried pickles from Pizza. That's bad, and I like it. Chicken tenders and whole pizzas. Oh. You know what? I wouldn't do it in a normal theater, but I've been spoiled by the VIPs that Cineplex Odeon does. I would eat a pizza. I've done a burger. Just wish I wasn't a designated driver. Something appeals to me about getting absolutely smashed at a movie theater, but, you know, some people aren't ready for that. It is tough and pliant. Can't be torn by hands or tools. I just like the swish. Yeah, it's one of those cases, I don't know, it's kind of like an airport. Like, I think if you're gonna eat food in one of these places, you should probably just... oh, tempura broccoli is good. If you're eating something at a movie theater like an airport, you should probably just get the most simple thing that you can. Damn right I'm slamming pizza because Jesse isn't here. He ain't gonna kick my ass! But he's probably gonna order it when he comes to visit. December 18th. My dad's birthday last year, rented an entire room of a theater for us. Want something is inside pizza and get drunk. That sounds like a lot of fun. Admittedly, my dream is to one day rent out a movie theater and play Smash Brothers on the big screen. I feel like that would be so amazing. Ugh. And you're all invited when it happens. Ooh. Well, my first bar was terrible. I almost got into a fight. It won't budge. I almost got into a fight, and I was already pre-hammered. Very true. And then when I went out, my friend's mom was out there asking if I needed a ride home. But I said no. We were walking across town. I didn't regret that at all, no. I mean, just between us, you're not missing much. Bars, yeah, not the most fun you can have. I usually just prefer getting tastefully soused in the privacy of my own home. I might be a bit of a wino. Yeah. Can't get me. I've got a lamp. Ooh, oil. Stop putting the lamp away. Stop putting the lamp away. I know, right? And I have to work tomorrow, and I have to work Monday. I can't do a wine thing. Do you know how much I'd love to do a stream while tastefully soused?
That fragrance. Damascus rose.
My jar. Hey.
There should be more.
This is my third attempt to produce artificial vitae. Why not? The former compounds lack the potency I need, but I sense I'm close. Calamine, wait, hold on. I'm gonna do this. Might as well do this right. There we go. Calamine and orpiment are given, and the cuprite binds them well. This time I will attempt aqua regia instead of aqua fortis, and hope it will produce a more even solution. The experiment was unsuccessful. The solution is highly acidic. Should just be acidic. And proves impractical to put to any use except as a detergent. Organic tissues react especially violently to the solution and should be handled with the greatest care. I might be able to use the recipe, but I'm losing hope that I will find an alchemic solution to my predicament. Any more of it?
Cuprite.
Well, that's it. That's a shame.
Let me see. And 1 part aqua fortis.
Oh, I see. I've used up all the oil completely. Neat. So odds are I'm probably going to go insane soon. Cool!
Could have been LSD. We all love a nice modicum of LSD. And by modicum, I mean a lot. The lack of a chimney to properly vent the fumes from my most recent experiments has taken its toll on many of my less stable ingredients in storage. Some seem unaffected, but many are stained by the fumes and will be difficult to salvage. I shall do what I can to move them to the wine cellar. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Without a jar of oil, my day is ruined. Ah.
Oof. You probably can't, I don't know how well you can hear it, but every once in a while it gets really bassy. Yeah. And that just thuds in my ear. It's fine.
That's fine.
Oh, that's the wrong voice. That's fine. There we go. Yeah, that's the one. Alright, let's go back again. Wait a minute. It's making the noise.
Drugs are only bad if you're boring. Otherwise, drugs are super cool. Man, I love drugs.
A PSA from Jonathan Crane.
Do as many drugs as you can. Then you'll find out which ones you don't like and which ones might kill you.
Dun, 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 dun. The more you know. Archives. Not to be mistaken with the old archives. So I don't know. Only do drugs made by Crane, exactly.
Only do Jonathan Crane approved drugs. There's a lot more than you think. Ooh.
16th of May, 1839. The unflinching African sun has continued to plague our expedition,
Making it
impossible
impossible to dig
until
until dusk. I'm not
How
going to do that.
Professor Herbert managed to find the location in these vast plains of nothingness remains a mystery to me. When I asked him about the tomb again, he told me about the legend of Tin Hanan, the mother of us all.
Ooh.
An interesting story in its own right,
Pretty
but I
much.
can't help feeling there's more.
But
Later that
sometimes
evening, we uncovered a passage
Wow,
beneath
wait.
the dunes leading to a sand-covered stone structure. The professor was confident it was the tomb we sought, and ordered the others to clear the way
I'm
late
confident
into the
this
dark,
is the
cold
tomb we
night.
sought.
Tomorrow, I shall lead the men into the ancient structure, hoping to reach the burial chamber. No matter what the Professor is keeping from me, the dig should yield something interesting to take back to London and the British
How
Museum.
dare you? Excuse me, but I am a doctor. I may have lost my sanity, but I didn't lose my medical license. Try to figure that one out. Whee! Yeah, who's laughing now? Me. Alright, let's see what we got.
Is there a thing in the options for vertical sync? Yeah, that's what I want. Thank you.
Playing a game without vertical sync. Wait a minute. You wouldn't know what vertical sync is.
Playing a game without vertical sync? What's wrong with you? That's better.
Who needs to pay for a doctor when you can just do drugs instead? It costs less, and you'd probably die anyway. Dun, 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 dun.
Okay, so I noticed the thing's not coming up. Aha! Ah, there we go. Okay. Now that's just not fair. Hey! I see you there. There. The camera's there. But my text is there. That's why I keep showing the good side of my face. Or is this the good side of my face? Or is everything the good side of my face? I don't know. Dee says it's fun to sit on all of it, so. She didn't hear that. We're safe. Oh, now. Katie, you're just saying that because I pay you so much money to. Hint. Lantern drains oil when it's turned on. Oh. I never would have guessed. Oh, sitting on my goods. You're hilarious. You know you made me, right? You know, I don't know if it's just me, but you're coming into my house and you're advertising a different Batman that ain't me?
When the shadow arrives,
What are you playing at
it
here?
won't take long until things start falling apart.
We're just buying time anyway.
Are you talking about
Let's do
your Phil
what we
Coulson
can.
porn, Katie?
There
Because
isn't
you should
much to
just
be
make
done
peace
about
with that.
wars. We should reinforce weak structures. The ground will tremble and there's a risk everything will cave in on us, especially downstairs. Here, and there. Let's get the servants working on it.
It has been years, Mikiki. I mean, I'm not gonna say that I've cried every night. But I've cried every night. That's okay. I was doing many things before it was cool. Do you want me to boast about my pre-coolness? You see these glasses? These thick-framed glasses, oh mine? You can't see it too well, but they're Ray-Bans. I've had these since 2003, and these were on a table to be sent back to Ray-Ban because nobody wanted to wear them, and I said, I'll take them. I like them. And then everybody started wearing Ray-Bans. And I'm not gonna say I cried because I'm super badly. There was a tear, followed by a few hundred. I have missed you so much. I have sent you so many letters, and you never wrote back. That's okay. Everybody be quiet, Risser's here. It's all right. He's one of those people who has to suffer me in person. So everyone feels super bad for Risser, cause... What? Wait! That was a thing. My Scambon glasses. Good! These are my other glasses. They filter blue light. But they don't look as sexy on me. Only when I have no clothes up, and I don't do that kind of stream until after 1 a.m. when everyone's gone to bed. Ooh, another letter!
17th of May,
Oh, they all talk.
1839. My hands tremble as I write. I feel a need to document my tribulation, for I fear that my memory will fail me if I linger.
Like a fart
Today,
in the wind.
I took some men and ventured into the dark, ancient passage we uncovered. Our torches burned faintly in the murky air as we slowly made our way underground. The men were superstitious and fearful. They argued loudly, and I felt their strange language getting to me. I mustered my strength and yelled at them to continue down the slopes and broken steps. The crudely carved passage confused me. It looked much older than the 4th century structure we had expected. The twisting path emerged into a great antechamber. The walls were lined with statues unlike any I'd ever seen. Despite their unearthly quality, I felt a strange familiarity toward them, which haunts me still. At the far end of the chamber, a great slab of stone sealed off whatever lay ahead.
How do you know something lay
I
ahead?
gave the order to raise it, and as I pushed through the narrow space, the heavy stone suddenly dropped, sealing me inside. I
Wait,
was trapped.
but if you were trapped, how did you write that? Yeah, with this. Central Prussia and Kingdom of Prussia.
Well, now I want to go down the rugged passage.
Hello, trouble. Or dare I say, trouble, because I like to intentionally mispronounce words. Okay, so I'm locked in here. I bet this won't budge either. It won't even let me tell me it won't budge. Break the window and leave. What is so important? Leave, go outside. Oh, you're so thoughtful. Go outside, find the basement window, crash through, find the guy, kill him. You're done. Why do we gotta stay in the house? Tabulate. Maps. Oh no, Amaranth Public School. Well, if that crumbled behind me, can I pick up these boulders and just smash my way through? Did I just teabag? Oh, spawn kill! No, I forgot I could jump though. That's a handy thing to know. Whee! Ooh. Fragile, but not breakable by hand. Breakable by spirit, though! There we go.
You have to be swift when you activate the first one. You hear that? If it stops, you'll have to start over.
Isn't all this a bit excessive?
You can never be too careful, Daniel.
The power of... I've got the power of God and anime on my side! Followed by a loud scream. He's an interesting individual. I wonder what he's doing now. Woo! I hear the laughter. Makiki, what have you done? Stomp on it! That does nothing. hit it with a brick. I can't believe that worked. Hot damn. All right, what's this say? Another region rich with lore is Olstad, deep within the East Prussian woods. For centuries there have been stories. Oh, let's do Marcus Kincaid. For centuries there have been stories surrounding the hamlet and its neighbor, Castle Brennenburg. The quiet forest-clad mountains dressed with scattered lakes is as picturesque as can be, albeit the area is haunted by the dark. Ask any local and you will hear proof of the widespread superstition. All travelers should indulge themselves in such conversations, since it will certainly serve as exciting entertainment. All of them have their own twists on the tales, but there are some motifs that keep reappearing. Oh my god! This is 900 pages! They are called gatherers, as they seem to follow some ambition to steal living creatures. Is it their prey which can be heard struggling inside the damp burlap sacks dragged behind them, which reveal their presence? What dark scheme do they follow? Can't wait to meet him. Heinrich Cornelius Agrippa, god of the aqueduct. Well, some of the time. The well-known erudite, or erudite, if you again like mispronouncing words, visited Alstad at the start of the 16th century. He resided in the local inn for a fortnight. I looked at that and I said, that's not how you spell fortnight. I was wrong. As he looked for remnants of kingdoms past, during his stay, all the prominent members of society paid notice, and he is mentioned in many records of the time. One day, he went to investigate a burrow in the northwestern glades, only to never be seen again. Heinrich is known to have passed away in Grenoble some 10 years later. He dismissed the notion of ever visiting Alstad, which makes you wonder what really happened. Who was this mysterious man who visited the sleepy hamlet in the woods, and what happened to him? Oh, the immortal Baron. Cruise of life, researching history, 16th century, Alexander, nobleman from the Rhinelands, protecting the Prussian state. The reason that reminder. Hello there. God, I haven't heard that voice in so long. Hello there, and welcome to Aperture Science. Astronauts, physicists, we want the best, and you are it. It is a curse. I am cursed to live this life. I have not made it through a single day where I've just kept the same voice. I'd have to be in one hell of a down mood. Live through the time, order the Black Eagle. Fascinating stuff. I'm glad I broke the cabinet and book. I didn't even want to read the book. Let's go through here. I pushed the lantern. Oh. There's light appearing behind this. Draft and a faint light. Well, we could push it. Or I can turn around and something will happen. I don't know. I don't know how this works. I'm only an elected official. I can't make decisions by myself. Stop pushing that fucking button. I know, right? Surely hitting a thing. I mean, I thought I had the power of God in anime. I'm gonna take the books off of it. Clearly, it's the books that are weighing the shelf down. Yeah. And scene. God, you've left me so much space here. I could probably just fucking walk behind it. Oh, wait. Does anyone see this slightly brighter book? Oh! Oh, I get it. See, it says... Yeah, okay. Are you just gonna... Sweet. So what? Is this unlocked now? No. I see. Well. Oh, don't tell me there's a book on each one. Is there actually more than one book? No, there can't be. Game like this can't have 2 books? No! 3 books! Oh, God. Guys, what am I gonna do? Oh my God, I solved it! You are adorable. All right. I probably won't need that, right? I mean, it's glowing and it's blue when it's obvious, but when have you ever, and I mean this, when have you ever needed a key in a scary game? Woo! I better go through that cellar, don't you? Oh, so the door opened. Yeah, I should probably leave that. Hey, baby, party my house 7:30. That's true.
That is so true.
Yoink! I'm throwing your shit around. Oh, a book. Oh no, was that a first edition? Oh, poor baby. You know, I thought I played this game before. At least once. But I have no memory of any of this. It won't budge. Oh, that pissed him off. It is. That's true. That's a very valid point. It is called Amnesia. Maybe as soon as you stop playing it, you just go. Oh! I saw that. I should probably go that way, right? Hey, unrelated note, where's the latch to get out? Just asking for a friend. Me, I'm terrified. Oh, and I... Oh, hey! You were right there! Fine! It's fine! 2 hours and 15 more minutes, huh? That was just horrible music playing. I hear it behind me. I'm not amused. I don't want to set the world on fire. I just want to start a flame in your heart. Do-do-do-do-do. I should have the lamp. I don't want to set the world on fire. See, every time I sing that, I just want to play. Oh! Okay. Is that light? Hey! My sanity's dropped. This game knows me so well. Oh, it's still gooey, huh? Okay. Oh, it's plenty bright. What's a little insanity between friends? Chair! Yeah! Fuck! Oh! It won't let me leave now. It went squishy. I get the feeling like I don't know what I'm doing. Which is admittedly slightly more frustrating than scary. My key's in my pocket, but I haven't found anything that was locked enough. Maybe there's something down here. Oh, I got a rock. I got a rock.
Oh man, making me a little dizzy.
So, they say it's not a game to focus on beating, but rather enjoying and immersing into the story. And yet, it was a big rock. I gotta say, Batman did an amazing Killer Croc impression that they didn't even know it was him. I think Killer Croc was like gagged and tied up in a back room, and they were like, and he was just like insulting.
You, sir, made me sound like a Neanderthal. Ah, Jen, come in and sit on my giant hand. Hell's bells. Whatever evil creature is in this mansion, if you wish to have sex with me, I won't say no.
Oh, can I use the key on this? No. I mean, I reckon I need progress, just not be. They could invest in some LEDs. LEDs nuts! I'm so sorry. Today was a day. Oh. This game gets any scarier, I promise you there's gonna be some movement behind me. I made up ooh joke. Oh, come on. I have definitely been here before. Key.
Surely there must be a door that needs a key. Hello? Lonely Key looking for some hot lock action. Any takers? It's a really big key. Well, that bit at the end is bloody caved in. Like my skull is probably going to be if I don't hurry up.
Oh, maybe I can go back this way.
Who knows? Or cares? Probably no one. That's all right. That's true. But you can't use a toothpick on a deadbolt. Or as my drama teacher used to say, you can't churn butter with a toothpick. Anywho, I miss her every day. Now things have gotten sad. Oh! I heard breathing from the piano. Don't tickle me with those ivories. Voice like this, I'll be tickling some ovaries. Oh no, it's not even 10 and I'm laughing at my own jokes. Oh, pray for Mojo. It's a very loving piano. Oh dear. I preferred loving. It was better as a loving piano. Just a piano you can totally stick your hands in. Anywho, nothing. I think the general theme of the night, hopefully, if I do things right, is that Cody sounded like a lot of people. Except you didn't say that. Nobody heard my name. Don't ever call me by it. I hate it. Thank you. And I don't mean... I wish you did mean a fat blunt. Then I could just get high. Alright, well, there's nothing bloody here. But entrance hall? I've already been in the entrance hall. Ah, the landlord sucks. Hey! Enough of that! I am not here for squishy goo nonsense. Like my little jump there? Ow, okay. I don't like the spankings. Drugs are great. Yes, drugs are great. Welcome to my stream. Why did Twitch ban me? Apparently, I was telling people drugs were great. Oh, I've already been to the lab. The lantern is the only thing that's real, Risser. How am I already screwed? There wasn't much to this. While the caravan moved, the land appeared motionless. Oh, wine cellar. Hey! How long have I been playing? Chris, I have been playing... Okay. Oh, for fuck's sake. Very well. Here's a key. You couldn't have just automatically used it. I have been playing for 87 years. I am so late for work, I'm probably fired. Well, yes, I know that.
Where did the Baron go?
Who cares? He left us enough wine to last us a lifetime. Or at least until tomorrow.
Wow. It really felt like I was there. That was remarkable. Somebody give that man an Oscar. Donkey Kong! Oh, I even put it away nicely. What? Why do I have to be so Canadian? Shame.
Is anyone there?
No. God damn it, with the rocks and barrels. I'm not going to lie to you, Wowie. I'm the manager, but my boss is incredible. Justine is a legend. And that's not even an exaggeration. Siri, please text Justine. No, don't actually do it, though. No, that's... Thank you, no. Well, shit. Now I'm stuck in the only wine cellar room that doesn't have any bloody wine in it. Kill, die. And through the door. No, that didn't work at all. I wish I was kidding, Rissa, but I'm not. That's how cool my boss is.
Ooh, okay, wait. Refilled lantern with a few drops of oil. And yet it took me 4 bottles to fill it?
I was really hoping we could spend the rest of the game getting drunk. Now I'm just going to have to play with my box.
Okay, what?
Hammer! Go!
Oh god, I felt like,
Brick! Go!
I feel like, Sherlock Holmes when he just throws the brick at the guy's chest. Or the brick? The hammer! Cody! Ah! Name! Stop it! At the guy's chest and it just does nothing.
Chain Austin. Bondage Ferry. I don't see anything but more boxes.
Gah! That's not even a real piece of paper! Blood. Things.
I'm not Oh, wow. I'm so strong.
You know what we need? We'll get Ludo out here with some rock singing. Then he could move this out of the way.
I had a girlfriend who hated that voice. And I thought, it's not my fault you're a no-fun scheme.
Wait, no, I can't.
I can't actually do that.
Yeah. Can I? Yeah. I can't, like, actually move my way out. No.
No way.
Are you joking? It's gonna fall right on my head.
But I thought you were dead.
What are we? Werewolves. I hope so too. Whoa! Oh, that was drippy.
Oh, man. I think we parked.
Hope it wasn't a deposit bottle. No. Let me out. Coco won't go outside. Is that a little bit more sanity my way?
What are you banging on the door for?
trying to sleep. Can have a fight. Not working.
What's happening? Oh, feels like my chest is going to burst.
Xenomorphs!
My God! Wilhelm, do something!
Oh my God, is this a castle on
Accept it.
LV-426?
We're not getting out of here. Why?
How can you say that? Alexander, you piece of shit! Let us out of here!
Beautiful. My name is Wilhelm, House of Garrick. These are Alice. Alexander sounds like a bit of a dick, not gonna lie. Oh, we should. Too bad this wasn't done in the era of like Symphony of the Night. We could read it in some really bad PS1 voices. My name is Wilhelm, House of Garrick. Oh, we could just hire Cam Clark to do it. That's another thing we could do. Tonight, the Baron invited me and my men down to the wine cellar to celebrate our work. I had my suspicions, as we didn't actually do any work, but he insisted and joined us in a toast. The wine tasted fine, and my men drank without restraint. So begins the punishment for our sins. The Baron has locked us up and returned upstairs. Forgive me for what I have done. I was weak and fell into his diabolic ways. My men are screaming. Their skin has been pierced by their own tangled bones. I feel my insides revolt against their God-given nature. Blood has begun to pour from my eyes, and I can no longer... Being a voice actor, do you get disappointed on your way through some games? Oh, yeah. Oh, do I ever. In fact, more often than not, nothing will pull me out of a game being scary than bad voice acting. Top 3 that nobody asked for. Resident Evil 1. Absolutely garish voice acting. Wait! Don't open that door! I'm going after him. He was my old partner, you know. Or, whoa, you could have been a Jill sandwich. The remake was not that... Okay, the remake was better technically. Performance-wise, they've had years. People have had years to try to make those lines work. No, turning off the audio is easy mode. Father... Before I turn off the audio, what I usually do is I usually check to see if it's been recorded in another language, and then I will play it in another language, so then I can't really tell if it's shit or not. But, no, the original Resident Evil was absolute shit. You could have been a Jill sandwich. What is that? Anyhow, Castlevania Symphony of the Night, that was another... world beater with the die monster, you don't belong in this world. And you're like, I felt that. Give me an Oscar. Daikatana, notorious for having some of the worst voice acting and dialogue to ever exist in a game. And Until Dawn had a nice collection of both, because Rami Malek was very good at being completely Rami Malek. I don't know, it's been long enough. I don't need to say spoiler alert, he does a psychopath fantastically well. I'm pretty sure I was the last person on Earth who played Until Dawn, and I played it last year. If you haven't played it, What are you waiting for? Dad, stop typing! I know you haven't played. Oh. A map. Certainly. Oh, I was already here. All the bean? No, I wasn't. Was I? No. Green. Green has led to this candle. Goblin sperms! Why did I say that? Why did I say that? It is... You know what? Door's haunted. Won't budge. Oh, if an enemy is near. I thought it said an enemy is near. Probably is. I had my problems with the game, mostly when I got people killed. I like how I don't talk like he could hear me. This isn't... There was a game. Oh, where's my brother? I need a nerd. There was a game that they made. Well, are you gonna go away or aren't you? I'm guessing you aren't. Okay. Watch out! I'm gonna do my fort! Scared him off. Yes. Yes. That was the one. Brian Cox was the main voice. I think it was like a prison type thing, wasn't it? And you were like set loose, and sometimes you had to make a noise to get their attention, but most of the times you had to like try to be quiet. You should do a horror game like that. Did I just fucking disappear? I'm getting the feeling like they just disappear, right? Which is fine. I guess that means everybody leaves me at the end. Okay. I need a modicum of sanity. Yeah, you know what? It's really funny. Oh, so I guess... Does Phasmophobia have a vocal component? Oh, no. Oof, no. And y'all want to play that with me? The one guy who you can adequately rely on to never shut the fuck up? That's true, they do. For half a second, I thought that was a security camera. I was like, that's trippy. That's true. Go for the loud one! Wait, wasn't that... Is this the one that was closed? No, that was the... That's Goblin Spooge. I'm chasing my dreams, Dad! That's what's being chased. My dreams. Did I really grab anything life-affirming here? I feel like I haven't advanced I got things.
The clothes smell fantastic.
Oh, it's getting even. I mean, this has to be a good thing, right? Like, does it mean I've been progressing if the place gets even more gross? Ew. God, it burst like a hemorrhoid. Ah, a lolly. Fun fact, despite South Park saying it constantly, Australians don't say oodalali ever. You'd be right. I'm sorry you had to find out this way, Father. But your son doth not live a chaste life. Oh, yeah. I feel like... Have I eaten a bird? Are you referring to the Ortolan? I have not, and I don't think I could ever bring myself to do that. In the name of Christ, let me out! Okay. Why is the screen text all blurry? Because you touch yourself at night. You don't have your glasses on, Dad. Put your reading glasses on. Funny fact. The laugh that Peter McNichol uses in Dracula Dead and Loving It is actually based off the real laugh that was done. Oh, it won't budge. In the, I believe it's the Bella. Dad, just because you got cataract surgery does not mean you suddenly can see. You've been half blind for 20 years. Make peace with it, man. Maybe I need to make something in the laboratory.
So, come up to the lab and see what's on the slab.
I have all these, like, tinctures and things. Surely there must be a table where I can assemble them? Like here? Okay. I think I have 4 different chemicals. I do! Laudanum. Give me some laudanum.
All right. Let's make some chemicals.
It's not a Batman mug, alas. Close enough, it's my Batman shaker. I bring this to the gym when I like to get a sweat on. It's what I use to take my pre-workout and BCAAs. That stands for broken chain amino acids. I only found that out last week. Gimme! I want that gamma radiation! A pot of acid! Perhaps that could burn through a snot wall. Now, all I have to do is remember where the snot wall is. Wasn't that where my stairs were? Didn't I have stairs? Oh, man. My stairs! I mean, we joked about LSD. Turns out it was acid. Something I know nothing about.
But I think my dad has a few ideas. Ah, we're boned.
Okay, let me see what my oil level is at. Okay. Man, I should have known. Why didn't I listen to those 1980 PSAs that told me if I made drugs, stairs would disappear? Oh, my dick and balls. Okay, where can I go? Where can I go now? Oh my God, it is! If you like drugs, you won't get high. You'll just be sad. If missing stairs are experienced for longer than 4 hours, please consult a physician. I always like that joke about, I made that joke about Viagra, and it's like, if erections persist for longer than 4 hours, please call a healthcare official. He will promptly give you a high five. I found a gem! Got my keys, wallet, phone. Fuck! My stairs!
One day, I will return. If it wasn't for the thought of you, I wouldn't be able to go on. When I find myself doing terrible things, I take comfort in you. As long as I am able to think of you and long for a life together, I know that I'm better than the others. I weep for them. They lust for power without restraint, where I only crave your fine, supple ass. I mean, fair judgment and a safe return.
And that... Oh, he's gonna take me back. Fuck. Yeah. Thought I might be able to take the gem. Nyah! Disappointed! Don't touch me, old man. I don't know where you've been. Oh, evil monsters! Would anyone like to buy some drugs? I mean, you can't use acid on something like that. Chest.
Older than the hairs on Granny's chest.
It does look like a crack house. Except in a crack house, you just wouldn't find that kind of masonry. I mean... Cannot use item this way. Don't you tell me how I can use acid. I'm gonna pick this up. I'm gonna... I don't know. Put it like here. Wow! I totally accidentally dropped it like that on purpose. They are my drugs, sir, and I can use them however I like. I've made progress. The only thing that worries me is I feel like I've made a little bit of headway in an hour and a half, but I read and it says that this game is like 8 hours long. Ew, it's all getting so gross. No, I don't want to go to the wine cellar. I want to go to the Peter cellar. Peter Sellers. Well, like 3 people know who he is. Here, I'll be like a normal Twitch person, and I'll be like, all right, drop 5,000 bits if you know who Peter Sellers is. Don't do that. Like, nobody get that idea. I was just being facetious. I'm a man who knows how to use his acid. And then the door is locked. Yay! Wrister knows! Nice. The commotion in the streets begged for his attention. You're almost there!
It sure is dark in here.
Yes, and there's a good reason for it. But you can light the lamp now if you wish.
What's the reason? For the darkness, that is.
Stay close. Be careful not to stray.
What's the reason? Why is it so dark?
Pay attention, Daniel. It's important that you keep going straight and make sure not to stray.
Oh, great. Time to splinter cell this. Oh, God, it's a giant testicle! Oh, damn. The only thing more blazing than my guns were my joints. Make me. Wanna fucking go? Wanna fucking do this? Fucking do this. Here we go. Oh, I got a lantern on now. What you gonna do? I used to know what this was. You go. I'm gonna lay the table. I know it's not the lathe. I can't remember the name. I guess I was never just that much of a carpenter. Planer. It's totally what I said. I don't know why you guys are writing it. I already said it. This is plainer. Nobody look back on this audio, on this stream, just because.
22nd of June, 1839. It's been more than a month since my last entry. After the event inside the underground chamber in Algeria, Professor Herbert insisted I return to England. He said he didn't want to risk forfeiting the entire expedition lest I took a turn for the worse. An excessive decision, in retrospect. But I'm glad it turned out that way. I found my journal this morning in the haphazard collection of things brought home from Africa. Next to it lay the broken stone orb wrapped in cloth.
Remember
I tried to assemble it, but couldn't. The pieces wouldn't fit together, as if they weren't from the same object. Could I have imagined it all? Was there ever a complete orb?
Or am I just really fucking stupid and don't know how to put pieces together? The mysteries were piling up. Like do in an outhouse? Reanimator! This one's blocked from the other side. Hello there, brother. Put your mind at ease. If you relax, it will enable anything I please. I can read your future. I can change around sometime. Deep inside your heart and soul. You do have a soul, don't you, love? I got hoodoo, I got voodoo, I got things I ain't even tried. That door's blocked from the other side. No way, gentlemen. Blood! Keith David. It's the only Keith I trust. And I am so glad that I was not named after a Keith. Small mercy. I paid for it in my own ways. Oh, that's a chest. Oops. Is this some kind of a bust? Yes, it's very impressive. Police squad! Sorry for the plosive. I heard that. So just randomly shouting things to make sure you're still paying attention. Strange brew moment. Oh. Now I'll tell you my secret. I've never seen a strange brew. Alright. Pull that out of there, come on. Hey! Uh-oh. Everybody, hide your daughters. Ethan's in the chat. I'm always serious. Call me Shirley. That was Airplane. Dad. You ever been in a bathhouse, Jimmy? I'm gonna ask, who lit these lamps? Oh, wait, maybe that guy. Never mind! Again, with the archives. There's so many archives! Get out of here with the fucking archives. Can't? Oh, don't let me turn myself up even higher. That's not something y'all deserve. Oh, wait. Is that better? Maybe? A little? I don't know. Nobody else was complaining, so I'm getting the feeling that nobody really minded not being able to hear me. Which is fine. Which is fine. That's alright. I know. Oh. Y'all? And you didn't tell me? Was it atmospheric? Did it at least blend? Oh, I'm underwater. Hey! Whoa, whoa, whoa! Oh. We've learned a lesson here now, folks. Apparently, I am to keep out of the water. We'll go into that, knowing what we know. it have been? Dulcet tones. Well, then I'm glad I'm glad my yelling wasn't too loud then. Oh! Hi there, welcome to Amnesia SMR, where I'm going to put you to sleep with my dulcet tones, and if all goes well, you're probably going to forget what I did. It does. At least it does now. Well then, motherfucker, are you gonna follow me the whole... Yep, you are. Okay. Well, pardon my French, but fuckez-vous, my friend. Oh, eat shit! I'm gonna drain the fucking thing. Then we'll see who's laughing. Drain faster. Let me guess. It's something that only works as long as the noise is going, which means once I flip the switch, I've got to haul ass and somehow manage to get to the other side. Let's hear how long I have. Thank you. I deal in terror. Yeah, what of... Ow. Oh. Dude. Kidding? Oh my god, I gotta get all the way over there? Alright. I mean, I'll try, but that's not gonna go too well. Nope. Over this way. Okay. We're gonna do it! Aha! Okay. Now, I am a whole completely different level of screw. These chase mechanics, they're a hoot. So now I can't really see. Hey, I will take some of that. looks like a lever. But I'm... Oh, wait. There goes that. Come on. Really? Yeah, I knew I had it too good for too long. I'm gonna have to take some of that laudanum. Okay, but then if I take laudanum, I did use dead flesh as a distraction. That's what I did. Can I do a Joe Swanson? I sometimes can. Usually, I just tend to do more of a Patrick Warburton. You know, Patrick, he's just very low-key kind of guy. But if you really, want to bring it up a bit, you can totally do a nice Joe Swanson over there. Why not? Well, I wouldn't say godlike, but pretty close. I don't like to blow my own horn, mostly because I can't. And if I could, I'd probably never leave the house. Well, I'm glad you liked it. That was a shitty film. Okay. I am 100% trying to do that. For some stupid reason, the lever... Probably. Like one of these guys! Oh, it makes me really slow. Oh boy. Oh, I see. You actually have to turn it. That's priceless. How did you get in here? I distinctly remember closing the door. Oh, dear. Right there on its head. Daft little shit. Yep. Hollow needle. My only hope is that this is... Yes! It's locked with a simple pick. That is just to fuck with you, my friends. That is just to say, bet you thought you were getting out. Here's how you die. Then you gotta look for the fucking needle. Oh god, not more of this shit. Coco doesn't want to play Splishy Splashy anymore. I need some stairs. Ooh, escape artist. I don't know what that was for, but I got it. Ethan! Don't you send me bits. Don't kick the desk. Splish splash, I was taking a bathroom on a Saturday night. Ethan, you work too hard for that money. Don't be throwing bits my way. Whoa, what? What? Got a little breezy. Gee, I wonder if I'm supposed to go that way. This isn't weird at all. You just need, if you get really close, you just get a sound effect that's just... be amazing.
She's a leg, hey. I wonder if it goes all the way up. It does!
And this is the end of the game. If it was Whistleblower. Why are there so many feet in this game? Because it knows that I'm here. And it put them in extra. Except it should know that it should have a Morton's toe. What? That's terrible. Everyone knows that the second toe should be longer than the first one. Unless you have different, I'm not gonna say you're wrong. You can't change it. It's just better that way.
You have an ascending room. Will it take us to the inner sanctum?
Maybe it'll take
It will definitely take care of the vertical part of our journey. So, you have ridden an elevator before?
Yes, the Colosseum at Regent's Park has one. It takes you to the gallery where you can view the panorama.
Good. This ride might be a little longer, and in the other direction.
Rome. But with the birth of the artist came the inevitable afterbirth. The critic.
I love those sideways elevators. It just like takes you back 5 feet.
Here we are, gentlemen.
Oh, that was a really shitty elevator, huh?
I didn't make you go on it, you know. That was all of my own volition.
Will you? Y'all? Don't be giving me bits. Y'all work hard for your bits. Spend your bits on yourself. Get yourself some nice bit jewelry. Maybe a nice bit sex swing, if that's a thing you're into. Who knows? Your hair, Bluefur, looks amazing. I love that shade of purple. You look awesome. Do my most... No, I'm not reading that. As I was traveling through Prussian woods, found a lot of years. What is this? Ugh. An artificial paradox captured with it. And you got a purple heart?
Yeah, Rissa, an itty-bitty sex swing. Don't pretend like I'm any different in person. I am just as terrible.
And itsy bitsy. Bluefur knows. Bluefur knows. She's got the purple hair. She knows. She's cool. God, I wish I could have colored hair, but I asked my stylist if I could. And because my hair is so delightfully thin, she advised me against it, saying that the bleaching process would make it even thinner. And there probably would not be a whole lot left to dye if that were the case. Not because I am going bald, though I am thinning slightly. It's because my hair itself is so thin, it would become so brittle that it would snap and would not be good. So maybe I'll get something darker. I could do something darker. But, I will make peace that my forehead grows longer with every passing year. I could get some fun wigs. That would be fun. Yes, I should. This is stuff I'm going to worry about when I finally get my fitness goals reached. Which I have been having fun with. No, it is fun. I enjoy going to the gym. Yeah, I wanted my favorite blue. Either my blue or my turquoise, but
Alas, 'twas not to be.
though I suppose perhaps I could dye my chest hair instead. What a look! Canis lupus familiaris, 1658, April 12. What voice should this be done in? First voice I see. I should then. Maybe I'll do it. Croc, you're the worst. I like him. After a short study, it is clear that the agitation found among humans can be found in the dog. Fear and pain-induced stress would seem to trigger an endogenous response. Say that 5 times fast. Causing the animal to burst with energy. I believe that the catalyst is produced in the brain. It is difficult to determine exactly where and what it is, but I can sense it. It reeks of cosmic genesis. There's an inherent problem in harvesting this energy since the creature is bound to die from the exercise. I must refine this process of torture to enable any real work to be done. More experiments must be performed, but it seems that only human beings are able to produce the amount necessary. It might be their ability to appreciate the severity of the process that ultimately augments their experience of terror. Terror.
Somebody say terror? Why'd I get this boner? Wolf head! Boom! Pocket sand. Pocket wolf. Pocket hammer. Boom. Now that is just some shitty work. Pocket wolf, man, gotta watch out. Pocket wolf. Icky, no!
I can't look at a bird and not say that. You would all be so disappointed if I hadn't.
Pocket wolf.
Let's see what you have to offer. What a mess. I should have sharpened the saw. But I can sense it. It's definitely there.
Coco will remember this. I did not enjoy that at all.
My friend, there is no room for anything else in my pants, I assure you.
I've seen it. Shut up. We've all seen it. What do you feed that thing anyway?
Virgins.
Yeah, right. Okay. Oh my god! Skulls! Oh, Jesus, I'm so terrified. What am I going to do?
I've got a bone to pick with you.
I do. I do. Ooh, more letter. Give me a voice! I'm starting to think Alexander might be the bad guy. Oh, Hugo Strange. God, this has been a while. I would almost say he's due to be hurt again.
Further disappointment. The Antiquarian's latest findings yielded nothing. I am still unable to grasp the inner workings of life and its relation to the power I sense within it. I shall pursue more books on the subject, but I suspect it will be in vain. Since no research has been made in my particular interest, I must attempt to fill that void myself. Clearly, humans emanate more of the energy I seek, but I hope animals will suffice, as they would prove less of a hassle to acquire.
Oh, Hugo. I would love to have a skull as a paperweight. There's a friend of mine who does special effects of the horror variety. And I have made the joke that if I were to pass, I would will her my skull so that she could make a throne of skulls and have that one right on the top. Because, let's face it, a Coco skull would be pretty cool. Though she'd have to leave a lot of space up there. I got a big fucking head. I can't wear hats easily. It's a problem. Good. I mean, it'd just be a secret little thing. Here, have my skull. I even cleaned it for you. It took me weeks to get all of those brains out there because I'm very smart. Ooh. I guess I should start lighting things, I guess. Oh. Oh no, I've got 8 of those. Okay, good. Good. I was getting worried for a moment. Not going there yet. I guess I found everything there is to find here. I wonder what horrors have unlocked in the next room. I mean, this game definitely has some suspenseful moments, and maybe it's because I've got you beautiful people here with me. But I don't find this game very scary. That's like last words before some shit goes down, but if only I could find the penis key that unlocks this vagina clock. There was another door. Let's see who you really are, Skull. That would be amazing. Yeah, we've only had the water monsters so far. Oddly enough, I don't get nightmares. I think it's because real life is terrifying enough. I would love to do that. There was a joke. Oh, good. Is he, or is he just breathing hard? There was a really funny thing a guy did. And I feel like if I were to do it, it would be like cheating after. Oh my God! Speak of the devil, and she will connect via Twitch. Not that I was talking about you or anything. No, not at all. A guy did a really funny thing where he had a recording of himself that he had done to be put in his coffin that played as he was being lifted down into his grave. And it was basically him like, hey, what are you guys doing? Like that he's been locked in his own casket and he's trying to get out. And it was such a such a bizarre experience because you've got these people who are so sad that he passed, but then they're all laughing, which is what he wanted, because it just sounds like he's stuck in his own casket. And that is fantastic. Like, I love it. What a great idea. But then, you know, I'll do it, and as I'm being lifted into the ground, you're going to have people who are like, oh my God, this is so fucking overdone. What a hack. But I'll like prepare for that, and I'll just be like, you stay out of this. And they'll be like, oh my God. Okay, that was kind of funny. It's a total power move. The BDE on that. Oh. Whee! Oh, I thought it was a chest. Oh, well, I'll touch it anyway. Do. No! No, Dad, you can't take my idea. I was kind of hoping you'd pay for the headstone.
That shit's expensive. I can't afford that.
Ooh, look at that dildo. No. Hey, I am hiding in darkness. You fuck off. Nice. That's the best way to find internet. Well done. The neighbors have better unprotected internet than you do. That's got to be a blow to your dad's self-esteem. Permanent marker and a large rock. Yeah, that's about what I was expecting. Is he still there? Hello? Me? Scared?
Please, let me go. I won't tell anyone, I swear. I just want to go home.
My tombstone fund. It's growing.
No! Get away from me! Leave me alone!
I swear, no word of a lie. I don't even think I would start a GoFundMe to help me get better. I would just start a GoFundMe to pay for my tombstone. That shit's expensive.
I'm not made of money.
I'm pretty sure I'm made of ham. Good ham, though. I'm not gonna lie. Top notch. I'm a good cut. Oops. It won't budge. Right? Like they're crazy. It cost me an arm and a leg,
Which would probably get me a smaller casket, so hey, I might just do it. Hey, you know? Hey, alright.
machine parts. I kind of want to go like the Big Lebowski way, in that I want Jeff Bridges himself. No. I want John Goodman himself to empty a Folgers can of my ashes into the wind, into Jeff Bridges' face. That's what I want. That's what I want. Oh, that is amazing. A penny saved is a penny earned. I love that. I love that. Well, hey, I mean, you know, send me some of your work. If you do good work, I'm yours. Make me beautiful. You don't have to work too hard, but, you know. All right, keep me beautiful. Put the eyeliner on. The eyeliner I need. Also, I want to do that thing at the funeral where you play the Jack in the Box theme and everybody just ominously stares, waiting for trouble. Ding, 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 ding. ding. Oh, okay. I just had this like terrible mental image. Oh. Eco burials. Well, it won't be as emotionally traumatizing as what my grandmother got. But I'm not gonna get into that. Ooh. Frank Gorshin I like that one. You left out a very important noun in there. I don't know what I'm getting dyed blue, but, you know.
I can make a series of jokes.
Yay! Swift decomposition. Be the fastest thing I ever did. I think I saw. Oh, hair, okay, yeah. She'll go the safe way. I think I did see that. Often I'll just Botox into my face and make people look like I'm nice. I'm getting a tombstone because a penny saved is a penny. Chris, you just stole that joke. It was just said like 10 lines ago. Don't even. Next time I see you at the store, you're getting it, young man. And Ethan, if you're still here, what game did you wind up playing? Ooh, there's a thing. Oh, what does it need a... Oh, for Christ's sake. I need a bolt or something? Lame. Your joke timer was like running down super quickly. I gotta find a way to use this! That's true. Once they found out it cost 1.2 cents to make a penny. That was the penny done. But it doesn't stop people from still trying to pay with them. All right. Let's try this again. Let's fill that up. There we go. But no, what I think I'm going to do, just to ruin everything, I will be there another day in retail. Woo! You have a good night. Get some sleep. Get ready for the battle that comes tomorrow. I'm gonna play the Jack in the Box theme. Except mine is actually going to launch. And it's just gonna launch my dead, naked body pew, right into the ocean. That'd be amazing. If it all works out perfectly, then by the time I die, giant falcons will exist. And as I'm flying through the air, a giant falcon will pluck me out of the air and take me to some place, probably to feed me to baby giant falcons. Which would just be, that would be cool. That'd be a neat thing to have happen. All right, now I've got this big tool. I need to find out where I need to use it. Yeah. Where have I gone? Where am I going? Who am I? And why am I wearing these pants? should look, because it's probably a thing. Regarding... There you go. Exactly. This... Oh, what, this? Yes. It is, can't tell what angle to show it best at. This, my friend, is the sword of the Grey Warden. It is my letter opener. I'm not saying that. It is my letter opener, and it can also be a weapon if needs be, because you can get a really good hold on the thumb there and take out an attacker's eye. It is my baby sword, and it has served me well this many years. I got this when Dragon Age Inquisition was coming out. Still have not played all the way through that. Feel like I would stream it, but I would probably bore people to death. Though some wanted to hear... Dropped my remote. Excuse me just a sec. Oh God, I'm so old! Hi there. Some people wanted to hear Red Dead Redemption 2, which would be a lot of fun.
Alexander, I have prepared the explosives you needed for clearing the flood drain. I can't stress enough how important it is that the mixture is handled with care. Please try to tell your feather-brained servants this before you go ahead with your plans. The liquids are not by themselves explosive and should be kept separated to avoid further mishaps. I have arranged 2 large vats in the next room for the ingredients. All you need to do is mix the liquids and you are ready to go. Good. Where is next room? How can I be sure letter did not leave room at any point? Pocket brick! Oh, good. I thought a crying lady was trying to sneak up on me and steal my wallet. I ain't having with that shit. Pretty sure I came down this way. If there's nothing else. Alright,
Oh, wait, is that... Well, then I don't know. Hey! Well... Oh, man, does that make anybody else have to pee? Yeah, me neither. There's the other one. I know, right? They always steal wallets. Like witches in Left 4 Dead. You're just like, hey, I'm just trying to have a good time here. And then witches are like, I'm taking your wallet. I'm like, well, that's not cool. Oh, good. An explosive. I don't know where I need to go with this. Something to do with the drains. I saw something flicker through. Oh, just light. Okay. Phew. I was like, yes, Satan. Yes. Get back, crying women. I have explosive device. No, nothing in here. Not even a torchlight. How creepy. Alright, that's good. Not a problem. Dead? Should have bought a Jacobs. I feel like I should have a test at the end of the stream by Game Logic. Just keeps going. Well, that's the thing, right? Like, is it just gonna... Is it just... That would be fantastic and terrible. You're like, oh shit, you ran out of time. Sucks to suck. Game over. Maybe this is where I need to put the explosives. Probably not. That's a fun noise. I'm gonna do a test at some point at the end just to be like, who can get all the ridiculous references I just make throughout this stream? I feel like only one, maybe two people would get it. One is not watching the stream at the moment. She is hiding right behind me. You died. Poor time in water management. They shifted.
My journal is gone. What would they want with my journal?
They want to fuck it. That's what they want your journal for. Get out of my way.
2nd of July, 1839. I received a letter today from the Algerian governor's office
half more than I
disclosing the
got.
fate of Herbert's expedition. About a week after my departure, Abdullah, one of the men traveling with us, returned from the desert. He was badly injured, as if maimed by a lion. The man rambled deliriously about the expedition being attacked by something horrible.
A challenge.
The French quickly dispatched a search party to look for the expedition. After searching for days, they found the camp abandoned without any trace of Herbert or his men. Tomorrow, I'll retrieve the things they recovered from Herbert's tent at the customs house. I don't know what to make of it, but I'm worried for him.
Oddly enough, that's how John got circumcised.
Now you shut the fuck up with that.
He fucked a book, and it chopped his foreskin.
3rd of July,
Here's already cut, thank you.
1839. Today I picked up Herbert's things at the customs house. I dug through the trove of documents he had carried and found a log detailing the expedition.
But it wasn't
The nature of this text ranged from quick notes to colourful accounts of transpired events. I skimmed the pages, trying to figure out what might have happened. May 17th, the day I was trapped inside the orb chamber, Herbert dryly states, "Recovered Daniel after 1 hour of entrapment." This confused me greatly. I was suffocating within minutes. How could I have lasted an hour? I continued reading the peculiar text. Herbert states his facts without judgment or passion, but suddenly I could read frustration into his text. He pushed his men to investigate the underground tomb, an effort which seems to have strained the minds of his men. Madness spread through the ranks, and Herbert had to take some extreme
It's not so
measures to
bad once you
continue.
get used to
He
it.
finally visits the chamber himself, where he retrieves the orb to the surface. His account confuses me greatly. If he has the orb, what are those pieces in my drawing room?
It's a pair of comedy breasts! I really are new at this, Melchor. You're not even wearing a pair of comedy breasts.
Au contraire, Blackadder.
They were gold. I appeal to such a small demographic. My best shirt. My Bible.
Pocket Bible. I won't ask. Man, that painting is everywhere.
Paper mache. You get those strips away from it.
Broken lock, you say? Well, I'm going to do a crossbow. I'm going to do a crossbow on it. I did a thing!
The key. Please, let it be here.
I mean, honestly, for all you know, I could just be wearing a shirt. Don't picture that. Not yet.
Yeah, I know. Too bad the heavy metal crowbar broke opening a wooden fucking door.
4th of July, 1839. It's done. The orb is assembled. I was awakened by an exhausting nightmare. Shaking and sweating, I retired to the drawing room with a cup of tea. The relic pieces lay spread across the table as I'd left them, but somehow I knew how it was supposed to be.
Did you know?
I fetched the tar, which I had prepared to fix the pieces together, and without fault I joined them, producing the orb I remembered so clearly. The tar proved unnecessary. It was pushed out from the joining pieces as they merged on their own, with no adhesive. The ancient stone relic now rests on my table. Its immaculate surface and perfect shape could have been molded by a factory. This is all too strange.
So you were just a fucking idiot. Alright, that's fine.
Also, for the love of God, who let these recordings stay? Did you hear that man's plosives? For God's sake, I stream and I do less plosives than that.
Ain't nobody here but us Andes.
You open the door.
Hello, Daniel. I brought you some tea.
Oh, wonderful. It could be a euphemism. Explosives. Plosives. Rissa.
Well, more like a but
I use a screen, 'cause I'm a classy bastard who does recordings for a living. I don't do recordings for a living. I work retail for a living, but I do recordings for fun. One day, perhaps, I can say I do recordings for a living. And then everyone will say, "Oh yeah? Do a voice." And I'll die a little inside.
I could tell you all the surefire way. Don't tell them about the condom hole! I should do recording for a living, Risser. I 100% agree. That would be... Oh my god, this thing defies gravity. Oh, just this piece.
But alas, it is not to be. At least not yet. Shame.
That would be amazing. It just like flies out. Like, oh fuck. Okay. Well, there's only one way this monster could have gone. Let's go that way. What could happen? Sir William Smith has been mocked. There was no way for him to know that the young man from the other day cast such a terrible shadow.
What evil lurks in the hearts of men? The shadow knows.
Ooh. This wasn't here before. Squishy. Oh, come on. Oh, now.
Let's not go crazy here. I'm just here having fun with the crazy people who like spending time with me. Y'all a bunch of weirdos. And I love you.
Refreshing laudanum. Okay, now I've checked that room. And the other. Was that somebody's ass? I think it was like upper ribs and like upper torso.
But part of me hopes it was ass.
Weirdo. Can't be too careful with all those weirdos around. It's always such a... Oh boy. I don't think I need anything else here. This was all just the dog. Good. I was talking to someone the other day about Mark Hamill Joker. And I know, you know, everybody has their vices and their stuff. But I always said it was such a shame that Mark Hamill was a archive won't budge. I wonder if I need some explosives. That Mark Hamill, that Mark Hamill was a bit of a smoker because, really, if you had shaped things and reworked the Joker into something that was so uniquely you, I think you would want to do everything in your power to conserve your voice. And it was a bit of a shame that he went from something so smooth and delightful to something so rough when he gets older. And it's just, you hear it now and it's like, oh, that's so rough. Machine room is locked. Well, fuck me, I guess. Okay. Will anything budge here now? It's not working. Of course it's not working. So I can't get to the machine room. That's locked. That's the bird is the key. Nope. Nothing was in the study but dog stuff. This won't budge down here. Did I need to blow something up in this room? Did I miss something? I feel sad when I drag my feet. There was that cave on the way to the machine parts. Ha! Remarkable! I get what you're saying. Though I did like him when he was in Adventure Time. That demon of fear. I mean, admittedly, more often than not, you get Mark Hamill to sound like Mark Hamill. Otherwise, what's the point? Even though he does a really good Harrison Ford impression. I always like when he's telling that story. He'll get up and fucking talk like that. Cave. I did not see a cave. Machine room. Yeah. Nothing else really. Oh, cave in. Oh, there was that cave in. Oh. On the way to the machine parts, but that was... Was that in that other room? Was that where I was finding those pieces? Or was that in water? That wasn't in water, was it? No, it couldn't have been in water. I was running through water. That's funny. I'm funny. No, not funny. On the plus side, my latency must be fantastic because y'all are replying like really quite fast. That's thumbs up. Turn that music up. Maybe there's something down here. And as much as I love Kevin Conroy, Smooth Joker. Yeah. It does. It's I like, you can't really, it's not the same. You know, you have the older Joker, and you can't really do the subtle things that you used to. You have the old Joker, and you can go up and down. You have that kind of noise. It's just, you know, I love that in the, like, Mask of the Phantasm with the, your hands are just as dirty as mine. Dirtier. Don't touch me, old man. I don't know where you've been. Yeah, well, that's the thing. Kevin Conroy is getting older, and now his Batman is pretty much everything. His old Bruce Wayne is Batman, even when he sounds, nice. But there is a bit of a difference, and I've noticed it over the years. As he gets older, I don't think he really has to. There's not really as much of a push. When you go back to the old Batman in the animated series, there was a lot more of a breathiness. You hear him go, laughing, "Go home, Mr. Stanley," or whatever. But then my favorite line, that is just, it's so bad, and nothing but respect for Kevin Conroy. But when Harvey Dent gets blown up, and you have him that's just, "Harvey, no." And I'm like, there's not a hell of a lot, I get it, that you can do with 2 words. But I think of things like, what's his name? Is it Patrick Wilson? Night Owl 2 in Watchmen. And he just screams, "No." And that was the most amazing no I've heard. It just ruins their voice. That's the thing, right? Like, because there a lot of problems that people tend to run into with voice actors in particular is not taking care. Your voice is your instrument. For crying out loud. Right here, I have my bowl of menthol eucalyptus mints that I keep, because if I push myself, I have to stop and I have to take care. If it's a really big Harvey night and I got a lot of Two-Face that I gotta record, when the night's over, I'm sucking down a eucalyptus mint. Because it's just, you're just not leaving that to chance. But, a big part of it, too, with, I want to say Julie Kavner, is that she is getting on herself. Like, I remember her in, like, friggin' Mary Tyler Moore, for God's sake. So she's been at it for a while. So that really starts to wear down. Can't do it. I'm not Julie Kavner. But, it really, eventually you are going to hit a point where you're going to start just sounding like the characters that you voice. It's just going to happen. Especially if you're one. Like, my brain is falling out of my head. Lisa's voice actress. That's her voice. I didn't know it was her voice until I actually saw her in As Good as It Gets. That is actually just how she sounds. God, that's gonna bug me. What is her voice? I am essentially going around in circles here. And then you have people like Seth MacFarlane, who, no matter what he does, always sounds like himself. Hi there, I hope you don't mind it. I've Bryanized your car, and you just go, "Oh, hey, you sound exactly..." I remember I got so mad. It's just down a hallway, not a door. Yeah, that's right. Okay, I'll get there eventually. I remember there was a scene in Family Guy where you finally saw Carter Pewterschmidt and the doctor in the same room. And they say, "Peter says we sound alike. I don't know, I really can't hear it, but, there's only so many voices in the world." And I go, "Fuck you." Oh, machine parts. I go, "Fuck you, my friend. There is not only so many voices in the world. There are plenty of voices. You, my friend, just can't do them. But hey, that's okay. That's okay. You're all right. It's okay." Oh. Oh, do you think maybe I have to light it? I'm a drag him. Do I have to light it, maybe? Well, okay. Woo! Is it gonna make me go back and check it just for me to die? Really? Well, I don't plan on. Do not set off the explosion before you are safely out of the blast area. Okay, cool. What do you want from me? No, it can't be an impact because I'd have to get out of the blast area. Unless I throw like a rock at it. Did it. Doesn't have a fucking trigger. Oh yeah. Oh damn. A fuse. That would make the most sense.
Want you to feel that you're doing well.
Do you have a fuse in you? Damn it. Equipment. I must be missing some. Well, I must be missing something. No shit! This. Clean it! Okay, also, I am running out of, like, oil. And I have not found a new oil container in ages. I blame the school. What the fuck is in the fucking box? I love the... Oh, there's just rope there. No, that won't work. God, this is going way back. Way fucking back. There was... Back in the days of Napster, okay? So this is how far back we're going. There was that Seven parody that was done by William Shatner. Oh, I opened that already. And dear God, few things made me laugh like that did at the time. Because, oh my God, that was so funny. Him as Captain Kirk, him as TJ Hooker, and the host of Rescue 911. Who are you? Who are you really? What do you mean? I'm the host of the hit TV show Rescue 911. I thought that was Robert Stack. Robert Stack, are you insane? Then when he opens the box, it's his head singing Mr. Tambourine Man. Amazing. No. Listen to him sing. It is still one of my favorite things to watch. I don't care for William Shatner much as a person, but the Seven parody was amusing. All right, I'll try. But I have a feeling like I'm missing something. And I'm going the wrong way again. How about that, folks? Equipment. Oh, that was embarrassing. Right over top of it, and I still miss. Oh, shit. Yep. Well done. Oh! Yes. I mean, admittedly, when it comes down to recounting... Thank you. Yes, that definitely worked. When it comes down to people's accounts that I'm going to take seriously from the Star Wars days, I mean, I feel like there would have been a time where I would have taken Nimoy's word, but I think now I would take Takei's word over how things went, and you know, Koenig. I know that there definitely was a buddy-buddy type thing with Shatner and Nimoy, and I know they used to get into a lot of fights with Doohan, especially being another Canadian actor. Doohan tended to take things more seriously. That, and I always liked his story about the person's life he saved. That was always a really nice thing.
Why are you doing this? Get away from me!
More light. Food storage. Yummy. But you know, the years go by and everyone's takes probably differ slightly anyway. But I just remember that in the Futurama when Shatner said, "Remember when I threw my boot at the enemy?" You mean Doohan? And they had a nice little laugh to themselves and you go, "Y'all just really didn't get along terribly well, did you?" Oh, shit. Oh, boy. Is this the end of Zombie Shakespeare? He's just trying to take a dump. You know how it is. Doesn't anyone fucking knock anymore? Oh my god, maybe it was Judge Reinhold trying to have a wank. So I hear him. He's not going anywhere. I think I'm gonna die. Maybe he's gone away. Oh god. Pitch black room. Sure. With a dying lantern. Stop giving me... Oh, it's just giving me tinder boxes. Including some that I can barely reach. Yeah.
Hello. What's this sign say? Where am I going now? Machine pilots.
Please, I beg you.
He sounds like a nice guy. He sounds like a hoot. I heard the stabs, but I did not believe this time. Oh, Michael, you don't understand. This isn't a mud pit. This is an operating table. And I'm the surgeon.
You don't get it.
This isn't a mud pond.
It's an operating table. And I'm the surgeon.
Two different versions of that. I don't know which one I liked more. One was in the animated series. Michael Ironside was the Batman for the Frank Miller. And then they got Peter Weller for the... Oh, more sex toys. Neat.
If a full set of 3 rods is unavailable, there is 1 rod in the inner study rooms which might work in case the elevator breaks down again. Unless it is absolutely necessary, always use the spare rods in the storage before using a mended one. I do love some glow sticks. Where? Where though? Oh shit. I can't fucking see. So we're just gonna drop down back here. When it comes to hiding, I am a Viking. Super or no, you are just a man. Very safe.
Who's eating those chips?
Are we done? Are we done here, Mr. Man? Have you moved on?
I hope so, because I'm prepared to run like a motherfucker.
Very crunchy. Emily? What? I left you. For dead. Oh, shit.
Well, what do you want?
I've illuminated the whole bloody place.
If he gets close, I'm gonna throw a barrel at him. Oh, the push-to-talk zone. I'm going to have to establish that if we ever play Among Us again. If I can ever get my nerve back. If Stella can ever get her groove back.
Where did you go? Where are you? You will learn that there are more terrifying things in the shadows than you.
They said the study. Let's go back to the study. The back hall. It's called a butthole, genius. Trying to keep himself from screaming. Grabbed all the sedatives he could find. Sedative?
Don't forget your bag, Daniel.
I won't, Herbert.
There is no shame in using a parasol in the desert. As it happens, it's imperative to your survival.
But it looks ridiculous.
The shade will hurt much less than dying, I assure you.
Oh shit. Guys, it's getting hot in here. Look at that.
We got a 69.
Nice. Ah, another pair of feet for my collection. Wonderful. Now, this door is closed. Something's behind it. Do I need the... Let me see. I know. Rated X, more like. And I'm not talking the old school science fiction X. Well, gosh, Risser, I'm going to give you 7 guesses as to who might be moving in the back of that frame.
You get it right. You might get a hug come March.
Oh, good. Somebody put the body back. Good. It is Mark Hamill, yes. I live with Mark Hamill now. In fact, when I was doing those impressions, it wasn't actually me. He was just talking into the secondary mic. These things reset? No, of course not. That would be too easy.
No, that's someone completely different. I may have the controller, but somebody else has my joystick.
You got it. Or the reanimated corpse of Julius Caesar. You know what? Pick the answer that is most fun to you. Oh, shit. Ooh. Are we playing Layers of Fear again? Nice. Marley.
Jacob and Robert Marley. Speak comfort to me, friend.
You're always heckling me.
Feels good to be heckling again. Feels good to be doing anything again.
Well, looks like something was added. I guess a cave-in. That's true. He's right here beside Jimmy Hoffa. Incidentally, DB Cooper and Jimmy Hoffa are the nicknames for my testicles. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Boop. I might say hi, Risser, I might. And odds are she'll probably say hi back and we'll all have a nice, splendid moment. But I'm not here for splendid moments. This is Spooky Scary Saturdays! Free the bird! Eat an entire bird to gain its vision, to gain its power of flight. That's what we do in the Cool Patrol.
We're Marley and Marley. Hearts were painted black.
Chat, I love... Oh, God. What, the Merry Christmas?
It was stupid. It was awful. It was short. We loved it.
Fozziewig's Rubber Chicken Factory. Funny story. And I know Frisk knows this, so I'm not a part of the cool team. I mean, come on. Kit, you'd have to know that anyway. You and I are like the two biggest NSP fans on Earth. You'd have to have had this problem before. Frisk knows this because I pestered them in Instagram chat with this, but When Love Is Gone is not included in the enhanced versions of Muppet Christmas Carol because they lost the footage. They couldn't find it, so it didn't make it into the cut, so they have to keep it in the old standard 4:3 cut because they lost the film. One day they'll find it, it'll be glorious. How do you make your vegetables taste like meat? Some people don't do that, Chris. Wait. Before you listen to anything, Chris says hi. D says hi back. The transaction is complete. We are now friends and lovers. Which is what my Auntie Joyce used to say to get her kids to stop fighting. But then her husband pulled one of them down the stairs by the hair because he didn't go out and shovel early enough, and he wound up killing himself. But no, I'm sure everything was fine. It did. Quincy likes, it's right there, likes the newest chapter. Woo! I was giving the thumbs up that you gave me. I have passed on the thumbs up. According to Brian Henson, Disney have found a lost negative for the song. Katie, are you heckin' fucking me? You know what? There is a thing that it is very sad. But then, so is Dickens. Paid by the word to be the saddest author, quite possibly, that I've come across. But yeah, oh my god, if it's remastered in 4K, we're not being hecked, folks! This could be a thing. This could be a fantastic thing. And I don't think I'm going to make any more progress in the next 2 minutes. So I'm going to push pause. And we're going to have a nice quiet moment with me where you could potentially hear flossing in the background. But that's okay. That is okay. Dental hygiene is important, people. Dental floss. Unless you don't listen to Big Floss. Good night, Father. Thank you for enduring my insanity these past 3 hours. While your beard is not as big as Jesse's, I still appreciated the visit. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely tweet me that. I will share it. Are we going to have a fight in the Waffle House? Outside? Or an IHOP? You know what? I hate this happens. It's midnight. And I want pancakes and bacon. I want a breakfast buffet right now. I need to be in a place, I need to live in a town, a city that has a horrible 24-hour... Okay, so I guess it's Vegas. I need to be in Vegas for a horrible 24-hour breakfast. Oh. Outside of a golden nugget. All right, I'll do that. Will John and Ed be there? Well, I don't know. Will I be there? Because they just happen to ride along with me. You know, they're just always there. Because I am a human clown car. Clown Motel next to Graveyard in Nevada. Ooh, I like that. Should be a misnomer. What are you implying? That better be because breakfast can be had all day. Because breakfast should be had all day. I fucking love it. What's that? Yeah, the other implication is that it's not food. If you're saying that breakfast isn't food, we're gonna have ourselves a fucking problem, Frisk. I know. Let's all go to a Waffle House. If we're lucky, the staff will be in a fight. We can get waffles and pancakes and all the delicious things. Do we have it? We have IHOP. Of course we do. We got IHOPs there in Toronto. I've been to the one in Niagara Falls. That was a nice one. Rumor has it there's a 24-hour IHOP in Niagara Falls. I didn't find it, but I heard legend. It's not late enough for waffles. That's true. But I have to leave now, like to get on a plane to fly. By the time we all get together, okay, good. Frisk is saying breakfast all day, all the time. I 100% agree. That is the best note that I am going to end this stream on because that is absolutely fantastic. I do have to go. I got to open up tomorrow. I'll declare makeup at 2 in the morning. Yes, definitely. We're going to Waffle House it up. If there was ever a KotoCon, it would be at a fucking Waffle House or IHOP because that is just the best place to go. I had an absolutely wonderful night. Not as scared as I thought I would be. There were some nice panic moments, and I do believe I got a jump scare out of there. But thank you all again for letting me pester you for another 3 hours of your Saturday. It is always greatly appreciated. I always have a wonderful time with you guys, and I hope you do likewise. Next week will be the final one before Halloween, and that is going to be Little Nightmares 2. That one should be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to that. That one's going to be, as the kids say, a hoot. And I am very much looking forward to seeing you there. I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic night. And I love you all super much. You're all the best. And I will see you on the next stream. And in the immortal words of Markiplier, because I can't think of my own fucking catchphrase, bye-bye.